It's the fact that I am having so much fun in my career right now. Like, I love that for me. So, welcome back to another episode of Unmuted. And I am excited because it's been a few weeks. Actually, it's been like a month and a half since I recorded a podcast episode. And the main reason for that is simply because your girl has been busy. Now, if you recall from episode one, I was looking for a job. Now, I have paused my job search because I've been focusing primarily on business. And, I've had to make some executive decisions because I'm like, if I'm really trying to go all in my business, then I need to go all in. However, I will be starting up job searching again, and we're about to be in May, so towards June, if I'm not getting the traction that I want. But the thing about it is that I actually feel so good in my business right now. And it's because I'm aligned. I don't know if I've ever been this aligned in my career before. And the reason why I want to talk about this is because when you have alignment, when you know what you want to be known for, when you know what you want to do, when you no longer allow people to tell you what to do, where to go, how to do it, and you decide for yourself, that's when you start having fun in your career again. That's when you start having fun at your job. And I don't think until recently I really thought about the aspect of fun. Like, it's work, but it can be really fun. Now, granted, part of the funness is because I'm doing my own thing, right? But when I think about the different jobs that I've had up throughout the years, they've also been fun too. And part of it was because of what I liked to do. When I didn't want to do it, for example, when I was a resume writer while also growing my business, which focused heavily on resumes, oh, your girl was miserable. Like, I hated life. I hated waking up to work every morning. The hours sucked. The pay sucked. Everything about it sucked. The resume writing process sucked. ChatGPT had just started coming out at the time. So I was trying to use AI and I didn't really know how to prompt it and everything yet. So the resumes were coming out like, oh, I don't want to say the resumes were coming out sucky because they weren't, but it was just taking so much longer to do it, right? There was no process. And then on top of that, I was also doing my business, which dealt heavily with resumes. And I remember at one point I had a dream about resumes, and I said, "This is, yeah, no." I quit everything. So I literally stopped working on my business and I started searching for a new job that had nothing to do with resumes. So there are times where I was completely miserable in my job, right? But there were times where like I was HR for a little while and I thought that was the path that I wanted to go on. And so it was fun for me learning new things and understanding like what I wanted to be known for in the field and things like that. Even though I didn't know at the time the words, what do I want to be known for? Like that, this is something newer for me that I'm realizing is important. But I've actually been doing it throughout my career the whole time and I didn't even realize it. Right. So my point is when you are aligned, when you are doing the things that you actually want to be doing, it becomes more fun. Now, if you're in a raggedy job, and y'all know a raggedy job can be a job where there's no growth, a job where the people suck, the management suck. It's not a great job, right? That's a raggedy job to me. So if you're in a raggedy job, then it may not be so fun, right? But if you're in a job where you actually like the job, where you like the people, or at least you tolerate them, right? Management isn't bad, they're not overbearing, like it's not a bad deal. But if you are doing tasks and duties that you're like, I'm freaking bored, it's because you're out of alignment. You're not doing the things that you actually want to be doing. And if you get honest with yourself, you'll be able to see that as well. And that's the whole thing, right? If we're not honest with ourselves about what we do and don't want to do, that's when it becomes miserable. That's when it's not fun anymore. That's where we're in unalignment, right? Even for myself, even I have been saying for a minute now. So when I had that raggedy job where I was doing resumes and I was still doing resumes in my business, that was 2024. Since then, I had said I don't want to do resumes anymore. And guess what I was still doing up until last year? I was still working on resumes. And even though I had changed the way I was doing them, meaning I wasn't actually doing them, it was more I was doing them with my clients and overlooking and overseeing the process, I was still slightly miserable. Why? Because I didn't want to freaking do resumes and I was still doing resumes. So I was going against the alignment within myself and I was making my own self miserable. Another thing that I got into alignment recently is working with black and brown women. I love me down some black girls. Like, I love them. I love them as a black woman myself. I love us for real, right? And so I've always had clients who are black and brown women, like always, just because that's just, I attract them because my messaging, the people I've reached out to, they're black and brown women, right? But of course, I'm talking to all women who are mid career at the time. And so even though I love the clients that I've had, and there have been some really nice white clients that I've had, like really, really dope clients. Like, this is no shade to them whatsoever. But it wasn't until I got honest with myself and said, no, I want to focus on black and brown women. That is when I started having more fun. That is when I created my summit, It's Giving Promotion, where I interviewed 12 black women and brown, because some of them weren't African American, but I interviewed HR and recruiters and senior level leaders, directors. I interviewed them and asked them specific questions about promotion readiness. And it only confirmed what I've been feeling for the past few months, which is black and brown women need to start thinking like business owners and run their career like business owners and show their ROI, the return on investment. An employer is not checking for you if you are not showing a return on investment. If you're not showing how you save time, how you save or make money, how you help influence about their reputation, right? If you're not showing things that are affecting the bottom line, no matter how hard you work, no matter how much team playing you do, no matter what it is that you give, it doesn't matter. You're not going to be promoted. They're going to overlook you every single time. And you may get lucky, right? Like, I can't say that this is always a thing. Sometimes you have a really good leadership team who sees your value, who sees your potential, who sees the work that you do behind the scenes. And then they look at that and they go, let's promote her, right? But that's not always the case. And so if you're finding yourself very bored right now at your job, even though you like your job, even, excuse me, I'm getting over a sinus infection. Even though you like what you do, you enjoy it and everything like that, but you know that you want more, right? You want a better promotion, right? You want a better role. You want something that's really getting to the root of how you've been evolving in your career, because that's the thing too. As we're learning more about our craft, we evolve, right? And we get bored with the things that we did in the past because we've already outgrown it. That can happen to, you can outgrow people, you can outgrow activities, you can outgrow things, you can outgrow places. And it's the same thing with the job. So if you are at a point where you have outgrown the tasks, the responsibilities, the things that you've been doing, and you want to stay in that field, you want to stay in that job, but you're like, I'm bored where I'm at. I need more. But you're not showing your employer your ROI, you're not going to grow. You're going to get miserable. You're going to be in unalignment. You're not going to have fun. And that's, I think, what I really want to stress to Black and Brown women now. Have more fun, right? We carry the weight of of the world on our shoulders. And it's like we're constantly on grind mode, constantly showing our expertise, but not really having fun with it. Like, think about how hard you work. Like, honestly, right? Because this may not apply to everybody, but when you're working hard at your job Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 or whatever hours you work, and you realize after a while, this is grueling. You got to take a step back and think, why? Why does it feel so heavy? Why does it feel so hard? Is it the industry? Is it the type of work you do? Is it the kind of role you have? Is it the responsibilities? Like, what exactly is it? And is it something that you want to continue doing? Why do we settle? Why do we get comfortable? Why is it that we allow ourselves to just sit there in this discomfort? For what? Yes, our bills need to be paid. Yes, we need to do this and that, right? Take care of our responsibilities, handle our handles, whatever, right? But at the same time, that does not mean you should be miserable at your job. Now, am I saying quit your raggedy job now? No, because your job might not even be raggedy, right? But if you're not showing an employer why you should be promoted, if you're not showing the professional qualities that they need to see, the things that going to affect the team, the department, or the company, forget about it. You're just going to sit there bored. And what's the point of that? What's the fun in that? And so, as I'm learning that about myself and being true to myself and thinking, what kind of name do I want to make in the career and workforce development field? That's it, promotion readiness. Because there aren't many promotion readiness focused programs, period. But there really aren't many promotion readiness focused programs for Black and Brown women. A lot of these programs for Black and Brown women, no funny, is about trauma. And listen, our trauma is important, right? Our feelings are important. All of that, like, all of that's valid. As a Black woman myself, I know the horrors of working in corporate America. Like, it sucks sometimes. But I don't want to talk about that all day, every day. I don't know about you. I'm sick of talking about our trauma. I don't even watch movies anymore that's about Black trauma. I stopped. I do not subscribe to that anymore. I don't want to do it. I don't do it. I think I stopped when what is it, 12 Years a Slave came out. I said I'm just not doing it. And I heard it's a really dope movie. Cool. I don't care. I'm not watching it. I don't want to continuously sit in the trauma that we have. I know we have it. I live it. I don't want to keep talking about it. I don't want to keep being surrounded by it. I don't want to keep being reminded about it. So when you get into a space like mine, if it comes up, it comes up. We will address it. But that's not the focus. The focus is, how do you present yourself as a smart business investment? Because that's what you are. That's what your expertise is, right? You personally may not be a product, right? Because I don't believe anyone is an object. However, your brain, your expertise, the way that you strategize, the way that you lead, all of that can be packaged as a product. And that's what I want to show Black and Brown women. Start thinking like them. The way that they think is not about feelings. It's not about, oh, there's biases. It exists. Women could barely have our own money up until what, the 30s, 40s, 50s, something like that. Women know it exists, but you know what they do? They make themselves as business assets and sell that. Because I know you have met those mediocre mats and those subpar salaries, and you're like, yo, who hired you? Because you're trash, right? And be that as it may, they will take whatever it is that they're really freaking good at and they will run with it. They will brag about it. They will talk to the right people, not their coworkers. The coworkers might be there or they might hear it, but that's not who they're talking to. They're finding sponsors. They're not even getting mentors, they're getting sponsors. Sponsors are the people who can advocate for you on your behalf in rooms that you are not in. They are the ones who are able to put your name out there to be like, no, have you seen the work that X, Y, and Z is doing? Nah, we need her to do this, this, and that. When we stop focusing so much on the things that we cannot control, which is the biasness, the trauma, the this, the that, we can't control that. Okay. We can remove ourselves from those places if need be. I do not believe in making yourself suffer, right? If there is a an organization that you're working for and they make you feel like crap just because you're a Black or brown woman, leave. expeditiously. Okay. But we know that they cannot help themselves sometimes and have that biasness because they don't know. They're ignorant. They, whatever, right? Privilege. It blinds them. So sometimes they don't even realize they're doing it. So you need to speak their language, and their language is business speak, ROI, making yourself a valuable asset. And that's what I want to do for Black and Brown women. That's what I want to show myself as, a valuable asset, someone who is in your corner helping you to develop these kind of things so that you can be a smart business asset because you're already now, you're ready to freaking go in your field. Whether you realize it or not, when you sit there and look at the facts over your feelings matter, but not in this instance. What are the facts? What have you actually brought to your organizations? What have you actually done throughout your career? If you really sit there and look at it from a business perspective and understand what kind of changes you made, what kind of value you've brought, what kind of impact you made, you are a business asset. But until you show that, until you let go of this false humility that keeps you from speaking about that, you won't be seen. You're going to continue to be invisible in your field. So, this is why I've opened up Command the Room Sis. Command the Room Sis is my 6 month group program. And in that, we're going to work on three main things. We're going to work on professional identity, what you want to be known for in your field, what's your professional reputation like right now? How do we fix it if it's not where you want it to be? We also work on the language and impact, how you communicate, right? How you speak to yourself and how you speak to others about the impact that you've made. And then we'll also work on visibility. We'll work on mentorship versus sponsorship and how you can get either one of those and or both inside and outside of your organization. What kind of visibility plan do you need to have for you? Because listen, I don't want you doing 8011 networking things. Okay, nobody got time for that. Nobody has time for that. So we have to figure out what works best for you. So even though this is a group program, it's very individualized because everyone's career, everyone's focus, everyone's personality is very different. And the reason why this program is so important is because I'm blending career strategy, I'm blending sales psychology, and I'm blending mindset work because you cannot possibly fix the external without fixing the internal. But again, we're not trauma dumping. This is not a space for that. Listen, I get very uncomfortable when people cry. Like, I want you to be able to have a space where you feel safe and open and you can shed a couple tears. But baby girl, we gotta pick that up and get up and keep going. So if you are looking for a coach that can help you do that, that can motivate you, that can help you advocate for your own self, because I don't believe in empowering people. You empower yourself. So if that's the kind of motivation you're looking for, and you know you just need that little push in that right direction, because you are valuable, professionally dope, but maybe you don't know how to show it. Come join Command the Room Says. There is constant open enrollment, meaning if you join a month from now, 3 months from now, 5 months from now, you'll get all the stuff from the past and you'll be able to jump in as soon as you get in there. So I hope to see you there. I'm so glad that I recorded this episode. It's been on my mind for the last few days, but your girl has been sick, so I haven't been able to really do this. Anyway, I can't wait for the next one. Hopefully, it won't be so long from now. Bye.